And welcome back to Size Eyes on the Skies. I'm Nathan Coy with your national forecast. We're going to start off with highs that happened this afternoon. As you can see, there's a distinct difference between the north-central part of the U.S. and the southern part of the U.S. We've got 80s from Dallas to St. Louis, but only 30s for Denver and Billings, with Minneapolis currently sitting at 42 degrees. Current temperatures right now across the nation are very cold still, with 39 in Minneapolis, 29 in Billings, and just 25 degrees in Denver. They have seen quite a bit of snow over the last few days, and Dallas is at 82 degrees at this current time. The big story, though, is the huge storm system that's moving through the part of the nation. And you can see it here. We've got snow to the north and strong storms and flooding rains to the south. We've got storms firing now in parts of Oklahoma, and we're going to zoom into that area of the country because that's where we have strong storms starting to fire in a line here, starting to extend towards Kansas and into parts of Missouri. And with those storms, we do currently have tornado watches for parts of northern Illinois, flood watches for Wisconsin, down to flash flood watches for Iowa, and then down here in central Missouri, we have another tornado watch that goes in effect until 10 p.m. tonight. And then down in Oklahoma, here's yet another tornado watch. Currently, right now, there are no tornado warnings happening with this. They have expired at 6:30. But there was one report of just a brief touchdown. Not much damage has been reported with that, except for Interstate I-44 has been shut down, which just is some debris that has been flying around. So certainly a very colorful map with all those warnings at this time. Here's your forecast for tomorrow. As you can see, here's the cold front that's going to be whipping through here. And you can see really cold air is just going to start moving into Minnesota and Iowa. And out ahead of it, we're going to have thunderstorms from Minneapolis to St. Louis to Dallas. And again, some of these thunderstorms are going to be severe, again, from Minneapolis up towards the Chicago area and eastward. So keep that in mind. If you have family members in that area, you're going to want to give them a heads up. It looks like damaging winds and hail are going to be the main threats for tomorrow, but we can't rule out an isolated tornado or two. Tomorrow's highs, there's 34 degrees in the Dakotas, 32 in Sioux Falls, but look at to the east, 70s and even 60s as far north as southern Wisconsin. So you can see that warm front's going to pivot northward, and this is going to be the area where we're expecting the strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow. So again, people in that area should look out. Here's Futurecast. This is going to paint it very well for us as we move through. Here's our rain we've had throughout the day. That line down in Oklahoma is going to continue pushing eastward as that cold front advances. Snow is going to break out over Minnesota. Here's the storms tomorrow evening over Chicago, down to St. Louis, down towards the Louisiana and Arkansas area. And that's going to continue pushing eastward and rolling through the East Coast into the mid-Atlantic states into your Friday evening. So certainly a very active week across here, and make sure you stay tuned with your local media outlets. And right now our pick city is Hayward, Wisconsin. They are on the cold side of the system. Freezing rain, they have a chance for tomorrow, 80%. Snow Friday, and they could see several inches of snow accumulation. These temps is showing might be a little warm, 51 degrees. I'm not buying that right now. But then finally some sunshine is going to break out in the next week, maybe mid-50s. But certainly well below average for them. That's all I have. We're going to go back to the desk with Zach and Clayton.
Thank you very much, Nate.
Welcome back. Well, at this time last year, VEISHEA, the shorts for the guys and the booty shorts for the girls were out there. It was quite
very
nice
warm.
weather.
Although, if we do remember last year, the parade, we had that rain showers in the morning.
It's true.
It was sort of cool, but eventually in the afternoon, the sun did come out. So, but I can promise you, it's not going to look like that. I'm not going to spoil my 7-day forecast, as I'll have that in a bit. But right now, if you can get through this heavy rain today, which we've had quite a bit in southern Iowa, and
I heard there's a lot of flooding going on down there.
yeah, and I'm going to touch that in my Iowa segment, but you know, there has been a lot of flooding. The rivers have been rising. They're coming near flood stage or even going over flood stage. So, you know, compared to last year, we've done a complete 360. You remember last year was completely dry, but hopefully that will lead to some better storm systems this year. And it's been a good sign, so hopefully the fact that we've been getting all this moisture and it's been sort of active, hopefully that leads into the severe weather season for Iowa here in the upper Midwest. So,
okay, well now we're going to kick it over to Matt Hoffman on the wall for weather news.
Thanks, Zach and Clayton. Let's take a look at the other side of the storm system, the winter weather. Talking more snow for a good chunk of areas that have already seen a lot of snow here the past few weeks. So heavy snow possible from anywhere from Colorado through Nebraska into the Dakotas and Minnesota, and even in portions of western Wisconsin. Some locations potentially 6 to 12 inches of snow, unfortunately. Also, the winds will be kicking up. That is going to be something different from that system that we saw last week. We are going to have this area of low pressure really wind itself up, and we could see winds gusting over 30 miles per hour, and that could be leading to some blowing and drifting of the snow. Hard to believe here now in getting towards late April now, so just in some intense weather we've been seeing across the country the past couple weeks at least. So winter weather continues. It's depressing, yes, but hopefully we can get some warmer air into the area next week. But the good thing about April snow is it can't last all that long as temperatures do warm right back up. So here's where the snow is at this hour. Snowing really hard right now across portions of Colorado through Denver, up through portions of the panhandle of Nebraska. Snow starting to break out. This low pressure still getting going, still kind of in the developmental phase, but it will really kind of wind up as we go on into tomorrow. We'll show you some winter storm warnings that are in effect currently for portions of Minnesota into Wisconsin. But here's the system as a whole. A bit of a stationary front moving through Iowa. That's where the heavy rain is. But the colder air off towards the west, that's where we're seeing some snow. So here's that area of low pressure right here. It will eject itself out through Nebraska, Iowa, and into the Madison area. And that's perfect. We're getting some heavy snow through the Minneapolis area up through Duluth. We'll show you some snowfall potential graphic here in a bit, and you can see how much snow we're really anticipating, and it's going to be enough to break out those shovels and plows once again. So winter storm warning here in the pink includes Duluth, Minneapolis, you're in here as well. Sioux Falls just got hit last week hard. More snow for you folks as well. In the purple, winter weather advisories also included Menominee in there. Also Hayward could pick up a few inches of snow with this. Everywhere east, just going to be plain rain, so you're in the clear, but for these areas, going to be seeing some late April snow. Here's our current weather, our current situation. Some very warm air out ahead of the system. Not as big of a deal as last week. That was a really intense difference as far as temperature goes. This one a little bit more subtle, but this is still a strong storm system, and it's still pulling in some colder air. Snow right now in Pierre, 30 degrees. In North Platte, 37 right now in Hayes, Kansas. Current wind chills. There is a bit of a breeze. This is a kind of a difference from that system last week. Like I mentioned, there's going to be a lot more wind with this. 30 is the current wind chill in Lincoln, but because we're going to get those breezier winds, currently clocked in at Lincoln at around about 28 miles per hour. So that's the kind of wind we're going to be dealing with, even stronger as we go on into the next couple days as that system starts to move up towards the north and the east. So here's Futurecast. Heavy rain in Iowa. We're not really worried about the snow quite yet, but as we go through the overnight hours, the snow spreads through the North Platte, Lincoln areas, up through Sioux Falls as you wake up heading off to work and school at 7 a.m. on Thursday, dealing with that heavier snow, and then it makes its way onto the north and the east into Minneapolis and Duluth. Could be a situation where we start off as rain, eventually move over to some snow, heavy snow at times. At this point, lots of wind as well, so blowing and drifting will be likely in those open areas. And this thing finally pulls away late in the day on Friday, but the winds will continue through the day on Friday. So here's the map you didn't really want to see. Here's what we're looking at as far as forecast snow goes. Nothing too bad in the Sioux Falls area by the time we get towards Thursday morning, around an inch on the ground, but as we go through the day, those totals quickly go up around 5 inches, getting close to 5 inches by midday, and then by Friday morning, just over 5 inches in the Sioux Falls area. Looks like the jackpot as far as snow goes up in Duluth, nearly a foot, but this could shift. There still could be some differences in the forecast models, and it really depends on where that low track takes the system. And then they'll basically end with over a foot in Duluth. In St. Cloud, in the kind of heart of where that snow band is going to kind of set itself up, winter storm warnings, looking like over 6 inches of snow. So we're not done with winter yet, but hopefully we got some better news locally here in Iowa. Zach will have that in a little bit. Clayton?
Commercial break. Before we do that, let's look at our trivia question for tonight. What is the largest single day rain total in the state of Iowa history? Is it A, 5 inches, B, 100 inches, C, 10 inches, or D, 22 inches? We'll have that answer and much more when we come back. And welcome back, and let's see that trivia question again. Well, apparently the answer is D, 22 inches. That's a lot of rain, folks. That's a lot of rain. And now let's take it to Zach on the wall for your Iowa forecast. Zach?
Thank you very much, Clayton. Sorry about that, folks. Currently outside Studio B right now is 43 with some light rain showers out there. The wind's out of east-northeast at 12 miles per hour, and our dew point is sitting at 41 degrees. So taking a look at current temps across the metro right now, Ankeny also reporting in at 43. 45 down in Des Moines, Perry reporting at 42, and a cooler 39 in Fort Dodge and out in Carroll as well. So if we go ahead and zoom out at statewide current temps, we can see a warmer 46 degrees out in Ottumwa, but those cooler 39s in Council Bluffs, Fort Dodge, and Mason City, and an even cooler 36 out in Sioux City. So highs this afternoon, we hit a wonderful high of 47 in Ottumwa, a little warmer in Des Moines at 48, 45 out in Council Bluffs, and those cooler temperatures stayed up in northwestern Iowa. So if we go ahead and take a look at clouds from radar right now, we had those heavy rain showers that pushed off to our east that are now out in Illinois, and now we can see some rain showers starting to build on the backside of this, which are some heavier rain showers, if you can see here, some intense bands of rain moving into the Ames area right now. And those will persist throughout the afternoon into late this evening. So taking a look at the wider picture, it's part of this big storm system, which Nate talked about, those severe storms down in the south, and this will keep pushing its way up to the north and east and keep bringing that rain throughout the evening hours tonight. So taking a look at futurecast, that low pressure is currently sitting down to our south, and it will continue to push to the north and east, and as so, it brings us heavier rain showers. But if we start to notice, Matt talked about earlier, that snow, we're keeping our eye on that because it's starting to push into northwest Iowa, which could potentially bring some light snow accumulations in northwest Iowa. But otherwise, that finally pushes out by Friday afternoon, and we start to clear out by VEISHEA weekend. So taking a look at rainfall forecast, really impressive rainfall totals spitting out. 2.58 inches in Ottumwa, 2.27 inches in Des Moines, on top of the 2 to 3 inches they've already received down there. So because of that, there is a flash flood watch and even flash flood warnings because the rivers are starting to crest out of their banks. But on the backside of this, as the cold air starts to sink in, we are keeping our eye on the forecasted snowfall totals as Ames looks maybe a slight dusting here. Fort Dodge about 3/4 of an inch, and then totals get higher as you go the further north and west. And because of that, they have issued a winter storm warning and a winter storm advisory due to those heavier snow totals up to the north and west. But taking a look at the forecast tonight, 38 degrees, so thunderstorms will persist throughout this evening with that heavy rain showers, the east-northeast winds at 10 to 15, so the wind could be kicking up throughout tonight. But tomorrow, 41, light rain, and the winds will be kicking up the 15 to 20 miles per hour to the north-northwest wind. But taking a look at your VEISHEA forecast for the parade, 41 degrees. It's going to be sort of cool in the morning, but the southeast wind of 5 to 10, so it's going to be a wonderful day for your VEISHEA Saturday. And taking a look at your extended forecast here, slight chance of showers lingering in on the Friday, but a wonderful high of 50 on Saturday. By Sunday, we start to bring the rain showers back with a high of 56, and those rain showers will be somewhat moderate, and that will be our next weather maker, but a high of 57 on Monday, 47 on Tuesday, so we start to cool back down, but it doesn't look to last long because Wednesday we warm back up to 51 with mostly sunny skies. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel, especially for VEISHEA weekend, so.
I can't wait for Saturday. That looks great.
Because B.O.B. Are you going to B.O.B.?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm planning on that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they have good bands this year.
Yes, they
I'm
do.
excited about it.
So it's not going to be a complete washout, so if you have plans on Saturday. The rain looks to end early afternoon hours on Friday, so Friday evening, if you're going out and about in town, looks to be fine. Maybe some clouds sticking around, but Saturday we really clear out, and it's going to be cool Friday night as well. So if you're out at the parade, getting a good spot, it may be cool, so you may want to bring a little winter jacket, but by the end of the parade, maybe a spring jacket will be fine. So
okay, well, that sounds pretty good.
It's good to hear.
Certainly better weather than last year. Last year at the parade we had light rain, temperatures in the 40s. Those concerts that night, it was rain, downpours of rain,
Yeah.
thunderstorms.
I remember that.
It was, so at least Saturday we'll at least have some sunshine, even if it is a little cooler. At least, we'll stay dry out there for those.
I feel like there haven't been a lot of good VEISHEAs as far as weather goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my freshman year we had the best weather ever. It was like 60s and 70s and it was dry. But after that, next year it snowed, which at least we're not dealing with that so much this year. Yeah, no,
I think
it's
you'd have a
crazy.
lot of angry people.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, people throwing pancakes everywhere. It was ridiculous. So upset. But no, I can't believe, going back to the summer, thinking that we would be dealing with flooding in Iowa after the drought, it's crazy how much it's turned the past few months.
Yeah, a complete 360, if you would say. So.
That's crazy.
It'll be interesting to see the new drought monitor comes out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see. My opinion is that Eastern Iowa is already out of it officially. I think Central Iowa and Southern Iowa, they're going to be out of it too.
And
I would
potentially Northwest Iowa. I think it'd be a big dent. If they're not out of it, they'd be pretty close.
Yeah, they've really missed out on the heavy rain though. They've only had half inch to an
But they had more snow this
So
season.
they're going to
They
get
have
more
more
snow
snow.
melt up
Yeah.
there.
But,
So.
that doesn't quite equivalent to the 4 inches of rain that's south to the south.
Which, Matt, you can keep that all to yourself up there. So.
Oh, I know. We keep getting rid of our snow and then just comes right back. And then go get rid of it and then it comes right back. But you know, I think we got kind of burned last week with that last system. The snow really didn't materialize, so we're kind of hoping that because it's hard in late April to get a big snowstorm like that. So we will see. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. But
well, you're in the right type part of the state. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen up
yeah,
there. Unfortunately,
it does look like that. I was going to say something about, it's interesting about, also as far as we're talking about flooding goes, it's kind of similar to, I guess they're comparing it to 2003 and 1998 where we had some really bad flooding in Iowa, just this pattern of constant systems coming through. So
but in severe weather down the south, I know the folks have their weather radios on today down there. And then because of that,
I would hope they'd have their weather radios on. And speaking of which, Saturday, April 27th from 9 a.m. to noon, at the West Ames Hy-Vee, and then the Hy-Vee also in Urbandale, there's going to be a weather radio programming event held by I believe it's the NWA.
Yes. Yep.
And then some of us will probably be down there helping as well. So we had this last weekend in Ames at the East Hy-Vee. We're going to cover another Hy-Vee in a couple more weekends. Certainly a good idea, especially, we had a couple warnings in eastern Iowa this morning. Then my weather radio, when I got back up, it did go off of those flash flood warnings down to the south. So certainly a good idea to get that done.
Well, folks, I believe it's going to be all tonight. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Send us weather photos. We want to see what's going on out there. I want to see big hail and rain and flooding.
Big hail.
And with that, I believe that's going to be all tonight. Stay classy, Ames.